Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome once again to the Bourse Report. Today, we take a look at what's happening on our stock market and whether it provides good indicators to us as to what we can expect in the year ahead. We look at what has happened as at the end of the first quarter, where results would have come out for many of the large players showing their performance for the financial year 2017, or alternatively first quarter 2018, and we'll make our comparisons there. Let's look at what's happening with the market overall, and then we'll talk about the outlook. Our first graph shows what's happening with regard to the market at the end of the first quarter. And you would see that yellow line, which indicates what's happening with all Trinidad and Tobago stock listed on the exchange. And that has been trending downwards, as you would see, in terms of prices for these stock. And so the market is down 1.7% for all T&T stock, which is somewhat different for all stock, which is the Composite index, including Jamaican and other listed, cross-listed stock in the market. Taken together, though that performance has been somewhat trending upwards, up 3.2% since the beginning of the year in terms of prices and capital appreciation as a whole. So that's your story in terms of the cross-listed, in terms of the all T&T, resulting in an overall negative 0.02% for the market overall. Turn to our next graph. And what you can see in our next graph is the winners and losers in terms of the gainers and decliners with regard to the performance, the share price performance of stock. This year, at the red end, which is the decliners, you would see the most significant decline in share price is TCL, then NFM, 12% down, Whitco, 11.5%, as you can see here on your screen. And on the gainers end, some familiar names you would see in the green column. You would see JMMB, Angostura, Scotia, Grace Kennedy, and some anomalies such as Unilever, where performance has not been that great. In fact, there has been a decline in corporate earnings, yet still prices have gone up. Let's take a look now at our next graph, which talks about the specific sectors on the exchange. And this gives a good indicator of what is happening out there in the market. I'll look first at the manufacturing sector. And you see what has happened in the manufacturing sector in terms of price changes, reflecting declines in corporate earnings quite significantly in many of the bellwether stock in the manufacturing sector. So that you can see that price change down 32% since the beginning of the year, reflecting the performance and the corporate performance of many of these players. We look at the banking sector and we see good resilience where share prices remains up, despite just one decline in earnings, which is Scotia. And then on the other side, if you look here, energy, TTNGL in particular, is one of the better stories in terms of corporate earnings, where you see earnings up about 30% compared to the rest of the year. So let's go on and see what's happening in the other areas. For example, market capitalization. When you look at market capitalization, which is the total value of shares listed on the stock exchange, somewhat muted between December at 123 billion versus 122 billion. And there are issues that we have to consider. For example, it seems likely that First Caribbean will delist from the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. And when that, if or when that happens, it's going to take some $14 billion of capital, market capitalization. So these are things that we have to consider. The Bourse Brazil Latin Fund, not in the first tier, but in the mutual fund area, that is coming off. what might come on in National Investment Fund in the mutual fund area. So many significant changes that are going to take place, and that is going to pull down this area of market capitalization. What can you do as we look forward? We've talked about this already. We've talked about looking for stock, be very, very selective. Look for stock with lower multiples, higher dividend yields, lower dividend payout ratios at this point in time. And most importantly, I would say, stock that will give you a hedge or a partial hedge against currency, TT currency deterioration. These are very important points. Look for us for further information and details in the national newspaper, on our website, bourseinvestment.com. And also, we have done a seminal piece on interest rates and where interest rates should go, given what inflation is and other considerations. And we've put that on our webinar, which is on our website, bourseinvestment.com. Look for us at these various contact numbers and have yourself a wonderful investment week. This is Subhash Ram Kilawan for the Bourse Report.